Everybody's here in attendance. Now, let's go over this, right? All VIP members, what's up? I had to set all this up so we can get to it. Now, on my last video on YouTube, I told you I'm gonna end all this conspiracy theory crap. Now, all these cases Tupac had caught back in New York, the sexual assault case, and there was another case he caught with the pistols, which led him, he pleaded guilty to these cases, right? He also pled guilty to assaulting the Hughes brothers, in which he served time for. Then, after the Hughes brothers incident, he got caught speeding in April of, I believe, 1994. Forgive my memory if it's another date. But it was in April, like 94. They caught him for speeding. So he got a speeding ticket. So since he's been out, the police has been doing nothing but harassing him because Tupac shot 2 police officers. And the fact that he got away with it, other cops are like a gang. So they see one of theirs get hit and nothing happened. You know, they feel the judge didn't do their job. They don't care that the cops was crooked. They don't care that the cops was doing something illegal. One of theirs got her down and they let this thug walk around and prance around and say F us and F the police, right? And these gangbangers are running around running amok. So, something stinks in here. I'm gonna have to empty this garbage. Everything gotta go. I don't like it. So after that, everything changed, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. Everything changed. From that point on, everything changed. Straight up and down. It all went in another direction. Let me tell you what happened. When Tupac got out of jail and he went to death row, everybody know about the music videos and everything else. He kept getting pulled over and harassed. They were trying to find weapons on him. Anything to send him back to prison. And then they was looking for any type of parole violation, which they caught him for a parole violation. And he had to go to court for it and said he violated his probation. Tupac has to go back to jail. So, death row had a judge basically on the payroll. So, what Suge Knight did was have David Kenner on Tupac's behalf work this deal out. Tupac and David Kenner was basically dangling this going back to jail over Tupac's head. Pac angry because David Kenner still haven't given him the list of finances that he wants to know exactly how much record sales, his money is coming in from record sales, how much money he owes. Now, see, back then, Tupac wouldn't even been in debt. How he could have went out and toured the album. See, people don't understand hip hop is not set up like the way it is now. Because of Biggie and Tupac, everybody else can go out and do events at these stadiums and get 500,000 a show, if not more. That was unheard of for a rapper in 1996. So Jay-Z just reaped the benefits that Tupac and Biggie would have had. Now, because of these facts, Tupac would freak out if anybody got guns around him. You can't ride in his car if you got guns. You got a gun, you can't ride with him. So anybody had a gun, like Sebo had a gun on him, and he asked anybody before they get in the car, hey, you got a gun on you? And I think Sebo was like, yeah, I got my heat on him, and he pulled over like, bro, you gonna have to get out. So he had his brother, somebody come meet him somewhere so he can get the gun out of his car, because they only gonna take Pac. If they find anybody else with a gun, they gonna say Tupac had a gun and gave it to the other guy. Tupac going back to jail. He know that. So everyone said Tupac didn't want to go to the fight. He didn't want to go to the Mike Tyson fight. He didn't want to go to the Mike Tyson fight. He probably didn't want to go to the fight, but he knew he had to go to Vegas. See, that's what people don't realize, is that Tupac had to go to Vegas because the lawyer and the judge had worked out a deal in which Tupac had to appear for a charity event. They was going to go to Club 662 for an after party. Tupac was going to perform on stage and do all that. And that was going to benefit a charity thing, which was going to go to Barry's Boxing, which is a boxing club ran by a police officer that's, he used to box back in the day, amateur boxer, who became a cop, Metro police officer. And that guy was going to donate the money to the charity. It was a charity event, and the money was going to go to Barry's Boxing. So Barry was there, and they had a bunch of celebrities come to the Club 662. Mike Tyson, they wanted Suge to bring it and make it an A-list event. So the reason they didn't want Tupac to have security is because they had the Club 662 pretty much secure. The judge is like, look, we can't have any mishaps. We gotta have no guns. Make sure they got no guns. Security, whatever. Nobody's coming in that charity event with guns. We already have security there. It's enough security. Nobody can have guns coming to the event. So that is why they told the security, look, nobody bring any guns when we go to this event. Now, going to the fight was different. But going to the charity event, nobody can bring a gun, security or not. And he was like, this is the first time ever. I've never been told I couldn't bring my gun. This is the way that judge wanted it. They wanted no outside people, security or not, having guns at a charity event. Judge Khan was taken care of quite well and ruled that Tupac should be free, because Tupac was supposed to be arrested and face time and go back to jail, and they was gonna send him back to Clinton Correctional Facility for violating his parole. And the judge ruled, because he was filming the movie Gridlock at the time, saying, I don't think we should, because he's actually filming a movie right now, I don't think that he should go back to jail and before, his appeals are heard. He's appealing the sexual conviction, and he's appealing both situations and the probation violation. He's appealing these cases. I don't think he should be incarcerated while he's waiting for the appeals. So September 12th, they were supposed to, that Monday, September the 12th, he was supposed to go in and, get his day in court so they can hear everything on that Monday. Well, I think it was a Monday. I don't know which date. His court date was pushed to September the 12th. That's all I remember. And that was that. So it's happenstance of what happened. They ran into Orlando Anderson. Tupac goes over there, gets into a fight with him, walks over, hits the guy, start all this melee. They were riding around looking for him and just happened to run into him on the strip. It was just his time to go. It's his time. There's so many circumstantial events that happened that led up to that. To the point where it's like, there's nothing else to be said. There's really nothing else to say after that point. At that point, it was pretty much over. Do I think Orlando Anderson killed him? No. I don't think Orlando Anderson killed him. But I think one of them did in the car, one of the Crips. But I just don't know if it was Orlando that actually pulled the trigger. Baby Lane. I think Baby Lane took all the blunt of it, or the credit. But I don't think it was Keefy D. But it was definitely one of them. Based on the description that was given, that the person that did it had a very muscular, Lando was super skinny. He was skinnier than Pac. So to say it was him, I don't believe that. So these are facts too, by the way. Everything I told you has been factual. They fabricate so much till you don't know what to believe. People's like, well, what about the walkie-talkies? And people saying, got him on the other thing. And who was the other person? And it sounded like Reggie Wright's voice. I don't know. I can't tell you about that. That's other people's fantasies about what happened. I can only tell you realistics. They'll tell you the reasons why they didn't have the guns on them. That is factual. Those are factual reasons as to why they did not have weapons. It wasn't to make sure Tupac didn't have any protection because the hit was coming. Because there was no hit coming. When Gene tried to say that was an inside job by Death Row Records to set up the Tupac hit, and I've seen a lot of people say that was an inside job. Okay. If that was an inside job, with the head of the company being Suge Knight, one, why would you kill Tupac? Killing Tupac kills your company. Losing him kills your company. It lowers your company into demise. A random shootout. You got all these albums from Tupac. You think you finna thrive off Tupac when he's dead? That don't help you at all. Tupac alive is worth everything. His creativity, his energy, his work ethic. Plus, if you look at the way the shooting went down, that was so wild of a shooting. There was no accuracy in that. There wasn't no accurate shooting. If I'm Suge now, I'm not gonna be in the car and trust some gangbanger who sticks his arm out of the window and starts firing, and he's gonna be an accurate shooter. No. Sorry. And if you look at where the bullets went in the car and the bullet trajectories and where all they went, that was all over the place. That was sporadic shooting. That dude almost missed Tupac with every critical shot. He only landed one shot on Tupac that was fatal. Only one. Many of you just, and Tupac only got that when he tried to go from there and jump into the back seat. That's how he got himself exposed to get shot in the alarm. Had he stayed in the seat that he was in and didn't try to move out of it and get into the back seat, he would have made it. Possibly, but like I'm saying, it's sometimes it's your time. There's too many things that aligned in a row that you're like, man, that's too many coincidences in a row for that to happen. So we all don't know is it for us to leave this earth. But we do know one thing. When you see a series of events happen in a row to lead up to this, all of these fake police officers coming out with stories and all this, they are looking for money. Tupac is money for them. Does Greg Caney, whatever, does he have a book? Yeah, he's making money off Tupac. All these guys are making money off Tupac. So in order to keep the Tupac thing going, they got to keep creating. They got to keep the conspiracy going. They need a TV show. Spence. This ain't enough. This is how they stay successful. They stay winning. But Suge had nothing to gain by killing Tupac. That is the dumbest thing. That's the dumbest thing someone could say. Is Suge set that up. Or even him saying Reggie and his wife set that up. If that happened, that torpedoes the company. First of all, Tupac couldn't leave Death Row Records anyway, if he wanted to. He owed. He owed a lot of money, which he could have gotten out of if he stayed. He wanted to fulfill his obligation and then leave. So what he decided to do was get his own publishing company he wanted to have and get his own publishing. Suge set all that up for him. He's just like, man, just stay in the family. You ain't got to leave the family. We'll distribute the records and you can have your own label. Machiavelli Records. He gave him the budget, said, hey, this is the budget for your label. You know, you gonna run it and set it up and you do it. He already had In the Gutter when he had Thug Life, but he dissolved that. My thing is, I don't see why people are interviewing Keefy D. I'm like, dog, you was in the car and you was with a group of people that went to kill Pac, period. I can't deal with you. Well, all the events after that, with the police and everything, it led to a whole lot of dirtiness within inside Los Angeles. They whole police department. They just went through the OJ and Rodney King, and now here come Tupac situation and the Rampart scandal and all of these things, and they're connected. So Suge became too dangerous. The charity event didn't go off well because Tupac never performed. He got shot on his way to the event. So, of course, he's in the hospital fighting for his life, so he can't make court appearances. He had just finished doing a lot of tapings for Gang Related. And Gang Related was going to put him on the map in his final acting role. There were going to be reshoots, but That's why I feel like incomplete a little bit when you watch the film, gang related, where Tupac played basically a rat. A guy who ratted out on his own partner because he had gambling debts and didn't want to lose his job and everything else. So the cops was pretty much drive-by doing hits, making it look gang related. So nobody else would ask any questions, and they'll go rob drug dealers and whatever. But one hit didn't go down the way it should have. So very interesting cop story. Jim Belushi was excellent in the movie. Tupac, he wanted to show people his range. This is why he was getting offered different roles. He wanted to show, I could play a drug addict, I'll play a cop, I'll play all these different roles. I'm an actor. So his whole thing was, don't judge me off of these situations that was coming up. Biggie was supposed to start doing movies. Once Pac died, they were gonna make Biggie a movie star. They was like, Biggie's funny, we gotta put him in movies. If Dill didn't tell them to basically not run that light, Puffy would have been the one hit and not Biggie. How would that change hip hop? That's gonna be the next video I do on YouTube. Just so y'all aware. That's the new video I'm doing on YouTube. They set up the charity event for it to happen that way, so that Tupac wouldn't go to jail. This was the deal and the arrangement. This is going to count as charity work, and this was the long as Tupac showed up and did that charity event, that was going to count towards the hours for the plea agreement. This is what happened to white folks. When white celebrities get cases, you never hear the results of these damn cases. They get speeding tickets, they get resisting arrests, they get all of these damn tickets and arrests. Then you never hear what happened in the case. I just told you last time on this damn thing here, she recently just filed for divorce. The lady did. Right after I told you that information, she filed for divorce as soon as she got out of jail and went home. Talked to that lawyer, she filed for divorce. Her name was Michelle Ranch or something like that. She got up and filed for divorce. All right. That's how you check your balance. Now, the whole world don't understand a lot of the things that's going on when it comes to this because they weren't around during that time. But when you talk about society or you talk about the way things used to operate, this was the norm. This was the street norm. So the way everybody would look at it would go like, damn, okay, well, that's what it is, then that's what it is. But when it came to Biggie and Pac, you kidding? Those are the two pinnacles of everything that was moving. That just to have those two with that kind of impact and they get taken out, it just left a big hole in the industry. And everybody was just eating. It was like all the food started falling down to everybody. Jay-Z eating, Nas is eating. But Nas is eating when they both were alive. He just became a star on his second album. So Biggie was in competition with Nas because he was like, all right, I see Nas is up there now. The Murder Inc. story on BET, I done already told the Murder Inc. story. So it's like, it's not, maybe it's something new I can learn. You know, we gotta wait and see. We have to wait and see. Anyway, man, I'm gonna get out of here. We'll chat later. We went way longer than we should have, but y'all deserved it. So now y'all know everything else is clickbait. So if they ask you again, why the security didn't have guns? That's why. People can't accept anything anymore at face value for what it is. It's gotta be more to it than that. It just gots to be. And because it was just so sudden, it was the theory he was still alive, he's in Cuba. When you have a person that's that influential on pop culture and everything moving, it's hard to accept the realities of what's right in front of you. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and we'll chat later.